today we're playing some Albion in line, and we're going to be talking about the Boltcasters in this game, and why I like them, why I use them so often, and why they're so effective, I think, in this game when it comes to PvP, soloing out in the sandbox, exploring around, doing dungeons and all that, and why I really choose to main these weapons. For these passive abilities, we have Forceful Bolts, which is every 3 normal attacks, your attack will knock the enemy away and interrupt their spell casting. A very good one. We have Well Prepared, every 4 activated spells, your Q slot spell cooldown is instantly reset. Very good depending on which Q you're going for. And for our third passive, we have Energetic, which is every normal attack you restore 3 energy, which is very good for a high energy build. And we have, last but not least, Furious. Every 5 activated spells, all your damage gets increased by 10% for 4 seconds. And that is very good in my opinion, guys. Probably one of the best ones on here. So that is those passive, kind of all the time going abilities that you can choose from, provided by the Boltcasters. So they're all very good, so it's really just based upon what build you're going for. So these Boltcasters, the ones that I am using, it has 2 Qs you can choose from, 4 Ws, 1 E, and you get 4 of these alternative slots that kind of give passive abilities. So I'm going to start off by demonstrating the Q. The last hit will detonate an explosion, dealing an additional 210 damage to enemies in a 5-meter radius, and it costs 12 energy, has a range of 13 meters, and a 5-second cooldown, guys. I really like this ability. It is very effective, and especially on minions and bosses, it just boosts your fire rate. This ability really boosts your damage and also allows you to hit multiple enemies if your boss has multiple minions or if just the mobs are in a crowd. So very effective in my opinion, and this is what it looks like when you are activating this ability. And for our second ability you can choose for the Q, guys, we have Explosive Bolt. You can shoot a bolt that explodes in a 3-meter radius, dealing 243 damage. It costs 8 energy, the range is 15 meters, and the cooldown is 2 seconds, guys. That is the other great thing I like about these Boltcasters, is that the cooldowns for everything are so low. We have the Explosive Bolt. This is the second ability for our Q. It kind of just comes down very quickly, a very small animation, just kind of like a little missile strike or something, but you can use it every 2 seconds, so it is actually very effective. Alright guys, and now we're going to be moving on to our W. We're going to be starting with the one that I typically use, and that is Sunder Shot, and that is a ranged attack dealing 216 physical damage and reducing the target's armor and magic resist for 4 seconds. The more health the target has, the more stacks of resistance reduction are applied. Between 1 and 10 stacks are applied, and each stack reduces resistance by 8. Now guys, this is an insane ability for these Boltcasters, especially coupled with the high damage output and low cooldown reduction that these Boltcasters have. You also have a lot of penetration because you're reducing the damage reduction that your enemy, whether it be in PvP or against a boss or against other mobs, guys, a ton, and it stacks as well, and you do more damage, guys, so you can just stack that and just do way more DPS, guys. And these are already DPS, purpose built items, so this is probably, in my opinion, the best out of these Ws you can choose, just because it stacks so well. It does a lot of extra DPS, and it has a lot of damage increasing abilities that are just very helpful all around the board, guys. And this has an energy cost of 21, a cast time of 1 second, its range is 11 meters, and its cooldown is 7 seconds. So you can't use it as often as, say, the Explosive Bolt, but it does have a lot higher cooldown, but it does have a lot lower cooldown than the Death Ward Climax, which we are about to get to, which is a very good PvP spell in my opinion. But 7 seconds, good all around. Alright guys, so we're going to be checking out our W, showing you what it looks like and how it acts in the game. We're going to be activating it in a few seconds here. As you can see, It takes a second to load up, so make sure you get out of the enemy's way in time if they are using abilities like you just saw. It takes a second, and then it hits, does quite a bit of damage, but then you do get that armor penetration, guys, which is just so useful, especially against higher health enemies. As you can see, you can use it there, and then you would get the armor penetration, and then you would just use an ability like, you know, something that's going to put out a ton of damage, and then it's just going to melt through the enemy, guys. So this ability, coupled with the other ones, makes a very viable strategy. Alright guys, and for our second W, we get knockback shot. You deal 146 physical damage and knock an enemy 11.81 meters back, while also increasing your cast and attack speed by 50% for 5 seconds. Costs 19 energy, cast time is 0 seconds, the range is 8 meters, and the cooldown is 8 seconds. A very good ability, guys. You're going to be able to knock your enemies back, and you are going to be able to increase your attack speed, as it says, and deal a lot more damage. But as I said earlier, guys, I really think that Sunder shot is the go-to W, so I'm not going to be, you know, giving you guys the visual representation of knockback shot. It is a very good one if you want to try it out and try and mix it and create your own strategies, but in my opinion, guys, Sunder shot is the one to go to. And for our third W, we have here Caltrops. You shoot a trap into the ground. The first enemy that walks over the trap is slowed by 50% and takes 34 damage per second for 4 seconds. It has an energy cost of 9, an instant cast time, a range of 13 meters, cooldown of 4 seconds. Very good, very fun. You know, if you're just trying to mix things up, definitely, you know, try these abilities out. And for most of this game, guys, you're not going to need the best strategy. You know, you just have fun with it. Use whatever abilities you want to use, and you will have a blast, and that's all that matters. But for when it really matters, guys, definitely, that's when I think it really matters what specific abilities you choose. But if it's not a very lethal moment in gameplay, guys, just have fun with it. And for our fourth W you can choose from, we get Noise Eraser. You cast a bolt in any direction. On hit, it silences an enemy for 4.5 seconds and deals 345 damage. It has an energy cost of 21, a cast time of 0.7 seconds, a range of 20 meters, and a cooldown of 15 seconds. So that is it for the W's. We're going to move on to the E, which in my opinion is probably the best E for PvP in the game, especially on the higher tier Boltcasters. But we get Death Ward Climax, and it is a channeled spell dealing 19 physical damage for up to 12 hits. The damage is multiplied each hit and stacks up to 12 times. The last shot always hits twice. You get an energy cost of 31. It has a cast time of channeled because it is over a duration, you know, and it can be altered due to what situation and circumstance you are in the gameplay. And the range of 13 meters and cooldown of 20 seconds. We are going to be demoing this one, guys. Of course, it has a great animation, guys, and it does do just a ton of damage. If you do use that W I was talking about earlier in conjunction with this E afterwards, you can deal just a ton of damage in PvP and around the world. So we're going to just drop a couple Qs on this guy, drop a W, and then we're going to drop this E, and as you can see, it just melts through anybody. Really, even up to tier 4, you can really just walk up to people and use your E in conjunction with a few other things and just lay down a ton of damage, guys. So I highly recommend that you check out these Boltcasters, guys. I really enjoy using them. I think they have an extremely versatile gameplay. I think they're really useful when it comes to PvP, questing, dungeons, and you can really help people out too when you're questing with them. So thanks for watching this video. Comment down below if you have any tips for the channel, or you have any advice, or you want to ask for any particular content. Until next time, guys.